All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world today. Giving honor and praises to God for waking us up this morning. We're on our third day, ladies and gentlemen, of the Tia Rodgers channel. Tia Rodgers, Life Growth Specialist, TAMIS, right? Channel. So I want to begin. I know I'm a little early this morning, but that's because we have an event today. We're going to be live at 111 North 6th Street in Camden, New Jersey. Come out. We didn't get many RSVPs, but I will be there just to share and dialogue and have conversation and share the information. So let's get underway so that we don't waste any time. I need to read the disclaimer so that we all can understand what the purpose of why I am here presenting to you. And there's no misleading, because I just want to help someone. And who knows who will get a message out of today. So good morning. I'm Tia Rodgers, the home-based entrepreneur professional network marketer that enjoys sharing with others how to do the same. I have taken the time to invest in myself through exclusive partnership with e-commerce network marketing professionals, professional debt-free companies that have improved my life through education services, products, and goods, as well as income-based opportunity. I have been in business since 2018 and have grown over the years, growing my business part-time into a full-time business opportunity. I am grateful for the opportunity and I take pride in our business mission of offering a hand up and not a handout, as life on life terms can be amazing as well as challenging. With her family values and enjoying the educational service, products, goods that she not only uses, but offers and shares with others that are interested in what is offered, not just to her, but many others who need and or want educational services, products, or goods and or business opportunity. Tia Rodgers does not guarantee that any opportunity offered for residual income will bring individuals the result they are seeking or proclaimed in presentations of services, products, goods, and business opportunity, as each person's income is based on their individual performance during the period of enrollment in any business opportunity as they build their business. Should an individual decide to enroll in a business opportunity through this page or any business page and or podcast show associated with this page, please note your results are based off of your ability of being coachable and implementing what is taught in trainings, as well as your unique expertise you bring. Each individual that enrolls and begins their own independent business through the course of the opportunity being offered, each individual is welcome to the opportunity to begin the process of building the foundation of a healthy life and lifestyle in a variety of areas. I started where I was with what I had, and now I'm on my way to living a healthier life and lifestyle. I know the value of the opportunity far weighs out the time it has taken to build the business. And as I continue to build the foundation of the business, I enjoy sharing it with others. So what services do we provide? We provide the strategies, tools to help change individuals' lives through self-awareness, identifying limiting and empowering beliefs of self, our life and lifestyle, and all that impacts it, finding solutions through services and business opportunity that helps them start with what they have. Make it grow just like a garden, the seeds that will require individuals to cultivate and improve their life while learning how to rebuild and or begin living a wealthy, healthy life and lifestyle. We're all born with all that we need inside of us. However, over time, life experiences like wanting to have a better quality of life despite the current circumstances that we may be facing. For example, Think of the times in your life where you have enjoyed doing what it is that you do, and then suddenly you get the gut feeling that life has more in store for you. But you may not or may be unable to identify or grasp that very thing that can get you on the path. Many of us probably felt this feeling at different periods in our life. Things don't necessarily have to be going wrong at the time either. Our life can be the best life, or so we think, until that very moment it hits you. See, a big part of life is relationships and being relatable. It's in the relationships we learn about one another, but more importantly, we learn about ourselves. We bring who we are to every arena, event, moment, circumstances, situations, and experience in our lives as we go along the journey. Some of them grow us, and unfortunately, some can be the very thing that breaks us. But over time, you learn that broken still can operate and function. At whichever level it may be, when you believe and know that there's more to life than what is right in front of us. And some can't even see what's in front of them. Sad, but very true. Throughout the journey and the life experiences, we will oftentimes seek someone or something to blame. Yet it doesn't resolve the issue, even if there is someone or something to blame. At the end of the day, we have a choice to either accept or reject it and move on, because we can't stay where we are, not for much longer. We have to figure it out, and we have to do it now. Waiting is not an option anymore. So yesterday, we ended with an assignment, and it was our self-awareness assignment. And the 3 questions you were required to ask yourself and jot down in your notebook as you're going through this series here is, who am I and what does my life mean? Who am I and what difference can I make in the world? And the last question you were to ask yourself was, things I love about myself that could benefit others. Okay, so we were talking about mindset and how to develop your mindset, and how spirituality, or your connection, your faith, your belief in something greater than yourself, is very important along this life journey. And we were looking at some of the biophysical growth and development, the strengths and the hazards, right? So we went over some of the strengths, which was high energy levels, good sleeping patterns, good genetic history, good physical appearance, free from physical disabilities and resources. So the hazards would be the opposite, right? Having poor family history, maybe disfigured or overweight, or you may be often exposed to discrimination more so than resources, and that can make you feel some kind of way. But no one has the right to ignore you. No one has the right to ignore the fact that how you feel is how you feel. And we have to examine that within ourselves. We talked about the cognitive and information processing, because we all learn different from our life experiences. Starts from the home, then we're introduced into society through education, and then to our community. So having the ability to focus your attention and complete tasks in an appropriate time, having a capacity to memorize certain things that's going to benefit you in your life, the ability to discern reality thoughts from thoughts and perceptions. Is it really real? Sometimes we're experiencing something, and it because the intensity of what the emotions of what we're feeling tends to make us think it's real, and it may not necessarily be real. You have to really examine it and look at it. Be it the ability to problem solve and capacity to have insight and to be able to reflect on different situations. We talked about the use of language. your general verbal language, and what is your nonverbal language that you're putting out. We looked at the self-perception. We looked at the positive and negative self-perception. How do you view yourself? And how do you view yourself with others? In comparison of self with the expectation of others, as well as the perceptions of what others think about you, right? And that leads us into the emotional response. So when we're talking about real family dynamics, right? Real family dynamics is where we learn the secrets of financial literacy and master the power of credit and the power of investing in ourselves. And what better way to grow about investing in yourself by learning yourself, first of all, knowing what makes you tick. And as we're looking at the physical growth and development, the safeties and hazards, now we have an emotional response to whatever stimuli may come across in our lives. And there's a full range of emotions to an event that may occur. Now, is it evident or is it excessive emotions? Because emotions we feel are anger, sadness, and frustration. And I believe I shared a part of my story, started my journey of how becoming a young mother and having to make the decisions to continue on despite not having the help or support. Putting yourself in that mind frame to still continue moving on. I shared with you how others would come and we kind of compare, like, they were comparing, wanting to understand the whole dynamic makeup because each of us are individual. We're different as our fingerprints are different. So on one hand, you have a parent that may be going through all types of challenges in the child rearing stage, should the relationship not work. Now, there are ways to co-parent effectively and healthy so that we can ensure that the children are developing and growing in a positive manner and learn how to interact with one another as well as their peers and when they leave the home. So if you are incurring, say fines or, you're in and out of court for child support or whatever like that, these things can take a toll on you. It's not only taking your time, it's taking your energy, and you're going to feel all these angers, all this emotion, the anger, the sadness, the frustration of just having to go through different things. But these are things that do occur in life. Now, on the other hand, if you have a parent that is, they may be absent, but they're not giving you any problems. They're not causing any harm towards you emotionally or physically. They're just living their life and you're living your life. You know that you're the one that's going to have to carry all the weight, and that can cause anger, sadness, and frustration. How do you work through those things? How are you able to process it? And some of the suggestions are, not so much suggestions, but as we're looking at this, we're looking at the self-statements that we make to ourselves. And considerations include the self-talk that we tell ourselves. And our self-talk usually will lead to our behavior and our relationships. And that could be either positive or negative, depending upon the self-talk that you're giving yourself, right? If you're telling yourself you're not worthy, like all this stuff is, like going through challenges in life. I don't want to just continue to give negative examples, but when something negative happens in your life and impacts you, it's either going to impact you mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, right? So all of that can take a toll on your health. It can take a toll on your family, those that you love that are around you, that you're responsible for. And how do you hold up that positive attitude and still continue to move on? It's a complete mindset. And what is the conversation that we're having with ourselves. So we have to really look at that, because if you are feeding yourself negativity, negative thoughts, things that are weighing you down, your behavior is going to begin to coincide with those thoughts. If you are having positive thoughts of how you're going to come out of this situation and how things are going to be better, and you're looking at the future, you're not so much looking at your present condition, but you're looking at where you want to be as you're working your way through that and that event that is taking place in your life. What self-talk are you telling yourself, and how is it impacting your behavior? Even, are you even being aware of what's going on with you, or why you're maybe behaving or feeling a certain type of way? It's good to look at and examine those, and do a full assessment and figure out where it's coming from, so you can kind of get to the root of it and nip it out the bud. So then we're talking about from our emotional response and self statements to ourselves. That's part of who we bring. Now, when we are doing all of this, we done looked at our health, we done looked at our how we're processing information and how we're taking in the world that we live in, including the world that we create right within our four walls. And then we take that out into society. So what is our social cognition and regulations? Well, first of all, we need to have a little knowledge of our social interactions. Are they appropriate or inappropriate? And by whose view and measure of that social interaction? And it usually will come from the view of your friendships, or the expectations of others that may be implied against you. Having the capacity for empathy to be able to understand that someone else's situation, say they're going through something, or your life is great, and but are you being empathetic to that person that's going through something? Are you able to lend a helping hand, able to provide some comfort, resources? Or maybe you're just a good listener. Sometimes people just need somebody to talk to. As well as looking at your perspective, talking, your sense of morality, your interdependence, your interpersonal understanding of others. How well, because if they say if you understand you can understand somebody else. So that's kind of the interdependence, interpersonal understanding of others. Having control over impulse. How capable are you of, how do I say this? How capable are you over the capacity for impulsive control in your life? And that could be, that shows up in stability in your jobs, your relationships, your play activities, your interpersonal relationships. All of these things play a part in who we are and how we interact with others. Having a capacity for being able to regulate your emotions. Does your mood change? And when your mood changes, are you aware of those mood changes? Are you paying attention to your maybe, well, you can't really see your facial expressions, but you can kind of feel them when but are you paying attention to these things, and how well are you at handling it and appropriate to each situation that you may encounter in your life? And how long, what's the time frame that these mood swings, mood changes and things, and appropriate and or inappropriate behavior takes place, and how intense is the mood? Is it at 10 or is it at 1? And why Is it like that? Can you regulate that? Can you gauge it to say, okay, let me find my center and get my thoughts together so that I can get focused and do what I need to do. Because life or life terms, sometimes you get hit with some pretty real life things, and you have to still be able to manage and maintain. And it's not that it's not okay to just totally fall apart and have that meltdown and breakdown. You may have to have that in order to rebuild yourself back up. Some can work through it. And what are some of the tools that you use in working through it? Is it the self-talk that you're telling yourself? Is it what it is that you are putting in your environment, putting in your body to ensure that everything is working properly? How connected are you with the creator that is greater than yourself? And what is that relationship? Is it a consistent relationship, or is it one that's fly by night and you not so much all the time? I mean, it could be all types of scenarios. But how are you working? How are you able to work through that? And then when you're interacting with others, your social skills, are they appropriate social interactions? And how knowledgeable are you on the people, places, and things that you're surrounding yourself with? Is it something brand new to you? And you're like afraid. It's the first time you've ever been a part of that. You put yourself in an environment that's different from an environment that you come from. And it comes with fear and doubt. You don't feel like you're enough. But as you're learning and you're interacting and you're utilizing your social skills, you begin to learn and you get to meet new people. And then you don't feel so foreign. It doesn't feel so foreign to you. It begins to become a part of you. Your ability to communicate effectively what your needs are, and what your boundaries are, what you will stand for and what you're not going to tolerate. And as well as how well are you at handling social problems, solving skills? Do you have the ability to generate solutions to problems? And what is your major pain point right now in your life? Good question for you to answer. Let's see. And do you have the ability, as you are processing the problem solving, can you kind of formulate the task as well as routes to solve the problem, but also the consequences of those problems, the outcome of it? Like, is it going to be good, bad, and different? Having the ability and means to an end of just thinking, having the cognition of knowing the steps needed to solve problems. And when we're kind of going through things, sometimes it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. And it might take you a few times to kind of work through some things to see what actually is going to work for you, what helps. Deep breathing is a good exercise, one that I found to be very helpful as I went through different life challenges, being a single mom, getting married, getting divorced, doing it again and again, but you learn, and you have to learn to love yourself and forgive yourself for things, because you can only control you. Never, ever desire to control anyone more than you desire to control yourself. Growing through the journey, one will learn the lessons of self-efficiency, an individual's belief in his or her capacity to execute behaviors necessary to produce specific performance attainment. Self-efficiency reflects confidence and the ability to exert control over one's own motivation, behavior, and social environment. That's right. Only you have the power to drive your life and lifestyle. No one else. Others can play a part, but for the most part, You move in a way that you know that you can provide and take care of all your needs, desires, and wants. Others can choose to add and or contribute, and that's cool, as giving and receiving works in its context. Note, should something happen where others' contributions should no longer be added, one will continue on just fine. Reasons of building and creating a life they have earned to afford. Okay, so now we're looking at money, time, knowledge, and relationships. Stats say that currency is the sum of 95% W-2 employees and 5% business owners. So create massive value as wealth is a mindset. Now there's different types of labor in economics. There's professional, semi-skilled, and unskilled. And when you're looking at the economic application, we're looking at stock market and trade deals. And we'll talk more about that as we're talking about wealth building. So I hope that you guys come down today and at least come and say hi. So an economic system is a means by which societies or governments organize and distribute available resources, services, and goods across a geographic region or country. Individuals and businesses make their own economic decisions. State central government makes all of the country's economic decisions. So business and government all goes hand in hand, understanding it in the process, understanding yourself, knowing what you need, what are your family goals, what is it that you're trying to achieve? What is it that you want to take today and begin making your life better for tomorrow and the next day and the next day? That leads us to our self-assessment, where we were talking about and looking at our health, our relationships, our spirituality, the knowledge, and we're looking at investments, investing in yourself first, giving you what you need so that you can go out here and conquer the world. You have your own unique fingerprint and nobody can do it like you. So we're going to look at, as we're doing this self-assessment in these areas of our health, our relationships, our spirituality, our knowledge, and our investments. Are we making good investments? Are we incurring bad debt or good debt? But you will know, once you know where you are. That's why this assessment is so great, because, well, for me, it turned out to be really great because it gives you a better idea of where you stand. What it is, you have to figure out prioritize what it is that you need to take care of first. And if there's any crisis, you want to take care of the crisis first, and then you want to start tackling the other things that you need to do. And one at a time gets it done. It takes a little longer, but however it works out for you, know that working on you in whatever area it is that you need work on or you desire to have work on, it's going to benefit you in the long run. That's a long-term investment in yourself because you're your greatest asset. And what is the outcome of the assessment? Maybe right now you don't have an idea of what your assessment is. You never really thought about it. It might be the first time that this has even crossed your path. Or maybe it's been a while since you checked in on yourself. Maybe it's been about a year, 2 years. That's why it's so important to make sure you get your annuals every year. At least you'll have an idea where you stand, what's going on with you, right? And what things that you may need to cut back to improve your health. Now, whether it's good, poor, or excellent, that's up to you because you can always change it around. You don't have to remain the same. today's exercise that we're going to wrap up and end on is I want you to list 3 of your strengths that you have, and I want you to list 3 of your weaknesses. I want you to list 3 opportunities that are available to you right now. And I want you to list 3 threats that are preventing you from taking your next move. Now, I call this my tangible list because I want you to always remember you are your greatest asset. You are a wealth of life experiences, or you're beginning to live life for the first time. You've overcome many challenges that may have left scars, yet you didn't give up. So don't give up now. And we have a few minutes. I did select a poem that I wanted to read out to you from the book, Think and Grow Rich. If you don't have it, pick it up. Very good. Read. Go back to it time and time again. All right. This is under the faith chapter, and it reads, I had to figure out where I wanted to start from. Sorry, guys. Okay, this statement is as true as the statement that 2 and 2 are 4. Like the wind, which carries one ship east and another west, the law of auto-suggestion will lift you up and pull you down according to the way you set your sails of thought. The law of auto-suggestions through which any person may rise to altitudes of achievement which stagger the imagination is well described in the following verse. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out of the world we find success begins with the fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can even win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. So I wanted to share that with you guys this morning, and I want to thank you for your time. I know it was a little early, but I like to be on time. So as always, you know that you are a winner from the time you were conceived in your mother's womb. You were born with all that you need to live this successful life. So go out here today, ladies and gentlemen, and be amazing. Have a wonderful, blessed, amazing week. And I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Take care now. Bye-bye.